Harlan Whitaker was born in 1968 in a forgotten corner of rural Illinois, where the soil was rich but the people were poor. His father, a sharecropper named Elias, toiled under the unrelenting sun, wrestling corn and soybeans from the earth with calloused hands and a stoic grit that Harlan would inherit. His mother, Mary, mended clothes and baked bread from scratch, stretching every dollar like taffy. The Great Depression had long passed, but its ghost lingered in their one-room farmhouse, where winters meant huddling by a wood stove and summers brought dust storms that choked the air. Harlan learned early that money was a fickle friend, plentiful in good harvests, absent in bad. At 12, he started odd jobs. Mowing lawns, delivering papers on a rusty bike, saving every penny in a coffee can buried under the porch. "Dignity ain't in your wallet, boy," his father would say. "It's in your word and your work." Those words stuck like burrs. High school ended in '86, and with no college fund, Harlan enlisted in the Army. Vietnam was over, but the Cold War simmered, and he shipped out for training that hardened him further. 2 tours in the Gulf, first as a mechanic fixing Humvees under fire, then leading a squad through desert sands, taught him strategy and silence. He saw friends fall, dreams shatter, and returned in '91 with a Purple Heart, a limp that faded over time, and a vow: he'd build something unbreakable. Back in Elmwood, population 2,500, Harlan used his GI Bill for a small loan. He bought a rundown diner on Highway 55, renaming it Whitaker's Grill. It was nothing fancy: vinyl booths, Formica counters, coffee that could strip paint. But Harlan poured his soul into it. Recipes from his mother's kitchen, portions big enough for truckers, prices low for families. Word spread. Truckers detoured for his burgers, locals came for the warmth. By the mid-90s, one diner became 3. Harlan expanded smartly, franchising quietly, partnering with suppliers who valued loyalty. He diversified. Casual grills for the masses, upscale spots like Le Chateau for city folk craving French flair with American twists. He navigated recessions, dot-com busts, and the 2008 crash by reinvesting profits, never borrowing big. His holdings grew through trusts and LLCs, keeping his name off the marquees. Net worth climbed. $10 million by 2000, $50 by 2010, over $200 today. But Harlan lived like before: same house, same truck, same flannel. Why the secrecy? Sarah. He met her in '92 at the diner, a nurse with kind eyes and a laugh like summer rain. They married quick, had Ethan in '94. Life was golden until cancer stole her in '99, leaving Harlan a widower at 31 with a toddler. "Don't let money change you, Harlan," she'd whispered on her deathbed. "Raise him right." So he did. To Ethan, Dad was a factory worker at the John Deere plant, a cover for board meetings. They lived modestly. Library books, backyard barbecues, lessons in fixing bikes. Harlan donated anonymously, scholarships, food banks, watching Ethan grow into a bright, ambitious boy. But as Ethan hit teens, the world pulled him away. Scholarships to Boston University, internships in New York. Harlan encouraged it, proud but wary. "Remember your roots, son," he'd say. Ethan nodded, but the East Coast allure was strong. The drift eastward. Ethan Whitaker was his father's son in build, tall, broad-shouldered, but his spirit leaned toward the horizon. Elmwood felt small after high school, its Friday night lights and corn festivals a cage for his dreams. At BU, he majored in finance, excelling in classes on market. There, in an economics seminar, he met Amelia Harrington. Amelia was a vision. Auburn hair, green eyes, a confidence born of privilege. Daughter of Reginald and Victoria Harrington, she grew up in a Greenwich mansion, summers in the Hamptons, winters in Aspen. Harrington Imports was her father's kingdom, importing luxury from Europe. Wines from Bordeaux, truffles from Italy, crystal from Bohemia. Reginald, a Yale alum, built it from his father's shipping firm, turning it into a $500 million enterprise. Victoria, a former debutante, managed the social side, galas, boards, ensuring the Harrington name shone in Vanity Fair. Amelia and Ethan bonded over late-night study sessions, her polish complementing his Midwestern earnestness. "You're real, Ethan," she'd say. "Not like these trust fund kids." He fell hard, proposing after graduation with a modest ring. The wedding in 2022 was a clash of worlds. Harrington's opulence, string quartet, caviar, versus Harlan's quiet presence in a rented tux. At the reception, whispers started. Reginald clapped Harlan's back too hard. "Factory life, eh? Respect that blue-collar hustle." Victoria air kissed him, so charmingly rustic. Amelia's friends giggled about cowboy roots. Harlan smiled, observing. Ethan apologized later. They're snobs, Dad, but harmless. Post-wedding, Ethan joined a Manhattan firm, Amelia marketing for luxury brands. They bought a sleek condo with Hudson views. Visits to Elmwood were rare, holidays, quick weekends. Harlan sensed the shift. Ethan's calls shorter, stories laced with networking events and country club brunches. Amelia's influence grew. Ethan adopted tailored suits, wine tastings. Harlan worried but said nothing. He'd built an empire on patience. When Ethan called about the dinner, it crystallized. Amelia's parents want to bond, Ethan said, voice tight. Le Chateau in Chicago, classy spot. Harlan agreed, but inside, gears turned. He'd test them, play poor, see their true colors. If they passed, fine. If not, well, Harrington Imports relied on chains like his for distribution. Power observed, then acted. The road to revelation. Saturday dawned golden in Elmwood. Harlan rose at 5 a.m., as always, coffee black, eggs scrambled. He skipped his usual routine, checking stock portfolios on a hidden laptop. Instead, he dirtied his boots in the garden, tore his flannel cuff, accidentally. Image set. Struggling retiree. Ethan arrived at noon in a gleaming BMW rental, Amelia beaming from shotgun. Mr. Whitaker, ready for some city lights? Harlan climbed in back, truck keys in pocket. The drive north on I-55 was 3 hours of chit-chat. Amelia gushed about a Paris trip. The Eiffel Tower at night, magical. Ethan shared work wins, closing a big deal. Harlan shared simple tales, helping widow Jenkins fix her fence, VFW poker nights. Pension's tight, but I manage. Amelia's pity showed. That's admirable. Dad's always saying resilience builds character. Harlan noted her tone, condescending, like praising a child. Ethan changed subjects, but tension simmered. Chicago welcomed them with skyscrapers and lake breezes. Le Chateau nestled in the Gold Coast, facade elegant, ivy-cloaked stone, brass lanterns. Valet took the BMW. Harlan shuffled in, boots clomping. Inside, the private room glowed, mahogany panels, candlelight, a table set with crystal. Reginald and Victoria waited, wine poured. Harlan. Reginald boomed, handshake crushing. Good to see you, old chap. Drink? Victoria smiled coolly. Do make yourself comfortable. Harlan sat, napkin fumbling like a novice. The feast of facades. Conversation flowed like the Bordeaux. Reginald bragged. Just sealed a deal with a Tuscan vineyard, exclusive U.S. rights. Supply chains ironclad, vendors know we're the gatekeepers. Victoria nodded. And the Met Gala, divine. Harlan, ever been to New York? Once, for Ethan's graduation. Big city, too noisy for me. Amelia laughed. Elmwood must feel like a time capsule. No offense. Appetizers arrived. Escargot, foie gras. Reginald pushed. Dig in, Harlan. Exotic, eh? Harlan poked hesitantly. Slippery little fellas. Tastes. Garlicky. Victoria tittered. Culture takes time. We summered in Paris, immersive. Subtle digs mounted. Reginald on economic divides, Victoria on dressing for occasions. Harlan's outfit drew stares. Ethan defended weakly. Dad's practical. Amelia whispered to Victoria, audible. Those jeans, vintage, I suppose? The breaking point. Mains. Steaks for Harringtons, seafood for kids. Harlan eyed prices, hesitating. Reginald. Chicken salad for you, budget friendly. Harlan ordered it. Whispers escalated. Could have done better, struggling type. Amelia. Ethan deserves elevation. Harlan endured, heart heavy for Ethan. Dessert loomed when Elena entered. The unveiling. Mr. Harlan Whitaker. Pleasure. Meals on the house. Owner's perk. Shock rippled. Explanations tumbled. Ownership, empire. Harlan's voice thundered. Watched you sneer. Now, consequences. Phone call. Terminate contracts. Reginald blustered. Victoria paled. Echoes of justice. Harlan left. Raised you better, son. Aftermath. Harrington's real.
Ethan reflected. Visits mended bonds. Harlan remained in shadows, power intact.